where I was like, wow, maybe this is actually we're going to get some good performances. And we did, especially from Paul Anthony and also Shane Harbison and Kelly McIntosh. We have like a cop and a psychiatrist character who knocked it out of the park. And the realism, I think, is what sells it. You know what I mean? In a strange way. A lot of people have said, if you had stars in this movie, we wouldn't believe it. And part of the reason is, the fact that these people do seem like a real cop, a real psychoanalyst, a real cannibal next door.
There you go. Well, I've looked at the pictures online, and I have to say, Anthony, you look like a regular guy.
I try.
Yeah. I'm gonna look out. My neighbors, I'm like, what's going
funny
on
you were
there?
mentioning the Planet of the Apes story there, and the way people reacted off, the way the actors acted with each other off screen, and that was pretty difficult at times. Actually, I noticed, whenever we were in between takes, I'd look around and there'd always be someone on the set or another actor just kind of staring at me, who do you think you are? I think people couldn't help but at times just kind of see me as the character a little bit.
My wife
was probably pretty good. Pardon?
I said my wife was afraid of you for a while.
I was gonna say, Anthony, are you married?
No.
Uh-oh.
That's the thing. I'm the kind of guy who's I'm scared of my own shadow, really. So,
anyone who Googles you, they're going to be going, I don't know about this guy.
I don't know. Your online character is getting some wedding proposals. It seems that there's something to that bad boy in prison thing. So.
Oh, there you go. Oh, Anthony's seen some, huh?
His character has more friends than I do on Facebook. That's for sure.
Now, I missed it. Were you guys able to do the interview from prison the other day?
We did. We're actually going to be, I'm getting the footage from prison tonight. So it's going to be up shortly. Although it looks like it's from a studio. We had maybe the lighting's a little too good on that. But that was fun. I mean, I was laughing, Anthony.
No, that was great. I'm having a ball with some of that stuff. Continuing to pretend to be the character all the time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The question about which athlete would you eat, I thought was good.
Yeah, some of the questions.
What did you eat?
Some of the people are asking these questions. I guess some of them are kind of in on the joke. Some of them maybe not so much. But someone's been on Facebook, I guess, asked my character the question: if I was going to eat a professional athlete, who would it be?
Oh, God.
And getting these things between you and Anthony Hopkins, who would win in an Iron Chef contest and things like this. So,
well, I have to say, your Facebook presence is very real, and I'll tell you guys a funny story. Chris knows the story. I don't think Anthony does. Chris and I have a mutual friend, Jane Couch. I don't know. Do you know her, Anthony, or no?
I don't. Sorry.
Okay, she was up in the film industry in Toronto, and she had noticed that I was friends with Chris, and then became friends with the character Anthony on Facebook. So Jane became friends with him, and then she sends me a message. This guy's in prison. Oh my God, she's freaking out. So I send Chris a message. I'm like, is this guy really in prison? And Chris is like, are you afraid of him? I'm like, do I need to be afraid of him? And then he finally let me in on the gag. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I love how people think I am in prison, but they still befriend me on Facebook.
Yeah, that's the scary part. There was a funny story from the investor. He sent me an email where somebody that he works with, just non-related, said, geez, I saw that you're sort of connected with this guy in prison, and my wife is actually doing a psychological paper on these guys. I'm surprised to find out that he's got such internet access, and she's fascinated by this. And can she set up an interview with him? And then basically sent another email 2 days later saying, haha, you got us. I guess after they Googled Anthony McAllister and figured out what was going on. But, there's people from high school who I guess maybe don't remember Anthony's last name and are saying, "What? Is he okay, man? What happened? Is he really in prison?" I'm like, what?
They always knew something like this would happen.
Yeah. And you see the pictures covered in blood. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
But it's a very realistic presence. So when you think about how important social networking is in spreading the word about your film, it really works.
Huge. It's been probably our biggest tool. When you go on those various sites, especially Facebook, I find you can target people. If we're going to Oklahoma, I can go and find young kids in Oklahoma or college age kids, not young kids, But, people of the appropriate age who are horror fans in Oklahoma directly.
18 and over.
Yes, exactly. Actually, you know what? We didn't even get a restricted rating up in Canada anyways, which is interesting. I wonder what you have to do to get a restricted. But anyways, the social networking has been, our number one tool by far, you know what I mean? As well as, just getting, and that gets us more press too, right? We've been basically, people find out what's going on and then want to do an interview. That's how it goes. That's
amazing. And like I said, that it's so realistic and so freaky when you see, the Anthony McAllister presence on Facebook as a different person. It's so real. You just have to buy into it,
I think people do sort of, like it. Well, I think most people are in on the joke, but they like to go with it anyways.
And hold that thought. We're actually about to go to break and more with our last segment when we come back with Chris Power and Anthony Alviano of Long Pigs.
And now, back to your host, Dara Blaker.
Hi, this is Dara Blaker of Dara on Radio, where regular people do really cool things. Having a blast with Chris Power and Anthony Alviano of Long Pigs. I'm still hungry, though. I can't believe it.
So are we.
Now, we were just talking on the break about how the making of this film has affected other parts of your life with jobs and work. And interesting, I guess politics plays into it. Any stories you care to share?
Well, for sure. I mean, I know for myself, I was working as an art director for a lot of years, and, you'd show people, you'd be really proud of something and show people, and they'd sort of, giving a Spockian eyebrow, sort of turning away. I had one experience where I was editing, just a crappy, reality TV type show, and basically I'd given it to the PA, and he gave it to somebody else, and eventually filtered up to the producer, and I wasn't there, but a buddy of mine who was said that, he got about 5 minutes in, took the CD out, was saying, how could anybody watch this? Why would anybody make this? And wanted all record of it expunged from his computer. And basically the work just stopped, along with the paychecks and everything else. And the ironic thing is the guy had actually tried to produce some horror movies, but, he just was violently offended,
I think it sounds a little jealous almost if he was a horror movie producer. It had to be that good.
Well, maybe that's the way I spun it, but, trying to get paid from him for 6 months was the end result. You know what I mean? Sure. I don't know, Anthony, I guess, it's not something that you would walk around with a T-shirt on at work, right?
No, for sure. I mean, it just makes you think of, like, when you have to think of what other people are thinking of you, like, most of the time. Because, like, I'm not very gregarious. And, I'm always thinking, these people find out I'm in this movie and, like, I'm already kind of a quiet guy and don't really, they're just gonna think the worst. I'm sure that's not true.
Together and make two.
Yeah, exactly.
You can invite them over for some like link sausage and
some barbecue.
Whatever looks funky, Actually, we should make some t-shirts with the Anthony character on it, and everyone should just walk around with it, spread the word. That'd be lots of fun.
Oh, actually, we have a bunch of them. If you go to longpigsthefilm.com, there's a link to our T-shirt shop, and there's many sort of Anthony ones with some of his better sayings. I like the one that says, people who eat stew make great stew. There's a couple good ones on there. But the Long Pigs T-shirts have actually been doing pretty well.
I like the bib idea as well.
The bib is
picture
great.
Of me on a bib. For like a rib joint or something like that.
That's actually a great idea. I'm seeing this as an explosion. I mean, I'm down by the beach here. If you guys have like sarongs or even just like tank tops, I mean,
what better
place?
Tanks on there actually. There are lots of female clothes on there. So if you go to Long Pigs the film, there's another film out there called Long Pig. So beware. Okay. Long Pigs plural the film all one word.com. It'll connect you to all kinds of stuff. And actually, you can even just take the logo and put it on something funky, too, which is nice about that website. So,
absolutely. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are definite horror fans. So spread the word. And when it comes down to Miami, we're going.